I'm ready.
Oh, hang on, live chat. There we go.
All right. Hello, everybody. So Rue wants to say something to everyone.
I'm sorry. I did it again.
Rue tripped over a cord and unplugged the computer that runs the live. So we did a new one. All right. So I'm going to say hello to Edson Glutz, Sean Fenner, Tom Everard, Kat Swift, Chase Perry, John C., Sean Regal, Scuba Steve, Hugo Cordialete, Ike Camacho, Monkey Strap, June Ritchie, Sean Regal, Isley Boudreau. Did I say that right? Kelly Boudreau. Kelly Boudreau, not Isley. It looks a bit like. Okay. So, yeah, Kelly Boudreau, John C., Void Beyond, Thomas K., Aaron Stoliker. Little wood nymph looking creature mask. Very cool. What's the game that those are on, Aaron? And Justin Eric, hello. Jennifer, pew pew pew. Big Dan Custom Art. Let's see, Haunted Swamp Props, and my see you next Tuesday. I think we did it. Did I say hi to John C.? I wanted to make sure. Hello, John C.
Yeah.
If I did not.
John says, I called it.
Oh, that is what happened. Rue tripped on a cord. Like, honest to goodness. Couldn't make it up. All right. So, this is a thing. Can you put it on tripod cam real quick?
Yep, sure can. You were on tripoded.
So, this is I'm looking at my cord length here.
I can give you some more if you need.
This is, this is a bear monster thing. This is like a big stone piece, okay? Stonework that we're coating. And then over here are big stone pillars that we're working on. Hold on. Okay. Big stone pillars. If this reminds you of the set from what was the Nickelodeon show? Forbidden Temple. If this reminds you of the Forbidden Temple set, then you are correct, because it's going to be very Forbidden Temple-y. So we're making a lot of big stuff. All right, now you can go back to Ozbot, who seems to be in a permanent position.
Oh no.
But I'm wearing gloves. Maybe it's just not reading my gloves.
You're in fluid hands.
Yeah.
Casso says, Stacy never did connect to the last Patreon live. Desktop or mobile, YouTube app or Patreon app. Boo-hoo. I don't know what is going on there, because it literally is just a link to YouTube. Like.
Yeah, so we could send you that link directly.
Yeah.
Next time we go Patreon live.
Absolutely.
We'll just make sure that we also send it to you directly.
Yeah, it's just an unlisted video that happens to be on the Patreon. Max Slasher says, hello, everyone.
Oh, Matt Slasher. Bam, bam.
Edson Glutz says, hello, gang. How's everyone?
Hello, Edson.
We're good.
Edson, I asked Stacy if you got your hoodie, and Stacy said that you did. So that's good.
Aaron Stoliker says, The Legend of Zelda. They're kind of a hide-and-seek side quest you find through the whole game. All of them have unique leaf-shaped masks and colors.
Are we also live on TikTok?
Yes.
We're also live on TikTok.
Hi,
Right
TikTok.
now, TikTok is handheld, as Alex is hand-holding it, until Rue gets back from the trailer where I think my
The phone stand is.
phone stand is. I know it went to Trans World. I'm really hoping it came back.
I've seen it since.
We're live right now. Okay, so I've got comments on TikTok now. Yay. Maybe I have comments on TikTok now.
So Sean Fenner, he was on, right?
Yep.
Sean, how did you enjoy being a zombie?
And he asked, are you excited for East Coast, and what are you bringing to the show?
I am excited for East Coast. Mostly I'm bringing me to the show. This is a very busy time of year for us, and We have the Monster Museum going on that same time, like it's open while we're gone. So we're doing what we call a media booth, where we promote the YouTube channel, we promote Monster Camp, we promote Airbrush Lab, all the things that we do that doesn't make us bring a ton of stuff. Because that's a booth that I can fly with, as opposed to making all of the things, which we just don't have time to make it. I now have orders from Transworld, and I have to get those orders from Transworld made. Those have to be my priority because those people gave me money.
Becky Hudson says monsters.
Hello, Becky Hudson.
Brandon Marshall says hello.
Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall.
Hello, Brandon Marshall.
Jennifer Pew 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 says she's a biggin.
Yeah, she might mean the Temple College.
Yeah. Edson Glute says go make big stuff.
Sometimes I make big stuff.
Cat Swift, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll see if we can do that. Ezekiel Bradshaw says, hey peeps.
Hello, Ezekiel. Hope things are going well for you.
Edson Glute says, yay, and I'm wearing it right now. I feel like I'm in a cool gang or something neat.
Yeah.
Jennifer Pugh says, hi Alex.
Hi.
White Rabbit Coaster says, what's up?
So, Ezekiel, and this is going to sound a little silly, but I just want to say what a pleasure you are to follow on social media. Every now and then you'll play guitar for us, but then you're someone who, you're very proud of your children, but not in a way that I find it annoying. So, just you are a joy to follow on social media. That is all. That is my opinion.
Sean Fenner says, overall being a zombie was fun. There were some stuff that didn't go as planned, but overall it was a positive experience. Also, always great to get taught by you.
Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. We got to do some fun little things.
Haunted Swamp Prop says, I love big stuff. I hate storage.
Yeah, this will be mine to store after the event that it goes off to.
Lexi says, Ezekiel is awesome. It is known. Hi, Lexi.
I mean, it's great to have, everybody you follow on social media should have a positive attitude, because you don't need that negativity in your life. And this is truth. If someone sends me a friend request, and I will normally accept it, and then I will look at their account. And if all they ever post is memes, like last 20 posts are just memes, I will probably unfriend or at least hide them, because I'm not going to learn anything about the person. I'm going to learn about things they generally agree with. Or if their posts are all complaining about stuff, then I drop them. Because there's always something to be happy about. You complain every now and then, but don't make it part of your personality.
Ezekiel says, thank you. I really appreciate it. I also think the same of you. More guitar coming soon.
What?
Yeah,
Lexi
everybody
says,
loves
hi.
a guitar.
I haven't posted much on Facebook lately, and I kind of made a decision where I'm going to start. I've started sharing. For a long time, I didn't share a lot of dark hour stuff, but now I'm sharing all the dark hour stuff because, that's me. That's my business. I've got to make it work to keep people gainfully employed.
Stacey, are you pulling TikTok?
And I think
Yep.
if you know me, then I'm going to take care of the people under me.
Clayton Goodwin 01 on TikTok asks, question, I know that sunlight isn't good for latex, but can it be stored in high temps around 100?
Yes. Is it the best for it? No. But as long as it's not hot and dry, where you're going to dry out the latex and you'll get cracking, you'll turn it into bacon, you don't want that. But as long as it's a hot, moist environment, you're okay. But not too moist, because latex breaks down in water. Latex is organic, it's finicky. A lot of people forget that it's tree sap, so it's just as volatile as any kind of a wood product.
Big Dan Custom Art says the ceramic knife tip works great on puppet foam. Thanks again, Alan.
I love that. You did a video of shaving some foam, and that was really cool. I enjoyed watching that. You shaved a Muppet, a green Muppet.
Wesoul on TikTok asked, is that concrete?
So this is a material called Structolite. It is made by US Gypsum, which is the same company that makes plaster, like UltraCal 30 or HydroCal. But Structolite is meant as a substrate. It is meant as a scratch coat for stucco work. And it's used very often on foam like this.
1980 asked, what sandbox are we playing in tonight?
This is a big stone temple piece that we're working on for a private party event. And that private party event is going to, I need to move this a little. Oh. All right, that private party event happens Friday night. And then we get it back because we only made it for a party. And they don't want to store it. So then it'll become a, like, Aztec type temple ruins.
Silly Zombie 666, who informed me at Transworld, I can just say Silly Zombie.
I see.
I will try and remember.
Wait, Silly Zombie was at Transworld?
Yep.
Who was Silly Zombie?
One of our friends from Woods of Terror, I believe. Says hello. Ezekiel says, how are you finding supplies? Finally getting some plaster down under.
Well, I think you guys get the plaster train a little bit after us. And I do have a few inside hookups because I've been doing this a while. Who said, hey, I just got a truck of plaster. You want some UltraCal? And they got me some in a black market style fashion.
Peyton Harris on TikTok says, hi Shannon and Alan. Shannon is currently in the chat, but
Right.
it is a Stacy reading comments.
Yes, Stacy and Shannon sound alike on phones.
Kaylee B, which I think is our Kaylee, says, hi Alan.
Hello.
Hugo Cordialete says, very cool. Sean Fenner says, in the spirit of Go Make Stuff, I'm working on my presentation for East Coast Hunters Convention, listening to you in the background.
I love that.
John C. says, it's not tree sap. There are separate vessels called lactifers, laticifers, that transport latex.
So it's tree juice.
Tree juice.
Yeah.
Silly Zombie says, I'm the guy who gave you the 3D prints and your fire screenshots, aka Andrew.
Aha! All right. See, there's real name, there's screen name. It's too much. Let me sum up.
It's too much. Aha! Another one down. Another one right up.
We're halfway there. And I don't feel like we stressed the mold today.
No.
Drew is making head forms for Monster Camp. Monster Camp 23 starts on Friday.
Sorry.
There you go. Jordan Easel says, hi, Faux Papa.
Hello, Jordan. What are you eating today, Jordan? If you're going to be in the habit of telling us, I'm going to get in the habit of asking. It's only courteous.
John C. asks, is it to be cast? Will there be a giant lake of banana sadness?
No, boy, you do remember the giant lake of banana. Which, by the way, I drove by there the other day just to check on that medallion piece that we made, and it still looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony went to a wedding there not too terribly long ago, and I was like, hey, you know that thing on the front? We did that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Jordan Easel asked, what are you going to cast this in?
Yeah, we're not. This is the piece. This is all styrofoam, and we built it up from styrofoam. I've been giving Patreon like some updates as far as how it's going and like what's happening with the build of this because it's a big project. And I think those are fun to watch some people do.
Jordan Easel said, hi, Stacy. Hi, Jordan.
This is a project I would enjoy watching someone else do.
Becky Hudson says, I think this is a cast. Alan's going to be busy filling around this one for a while. I was wondering how to do flat molds.
Flat molds are easy, man. Tray molds are the best. I have a silicone sheet mold and I have a plaster sheet mold video on Stillpiece Studios on YouTube. Not Stillpiece Live, Stillpiece Studios. And yeah, so those videos are there. They're sheet molds, easy peasy. You will love it.
Hugo says, hi Stacy, hi Rube.
Bonjour.
My arm is tired from reaching up and painting and putting on stone.
Jordan Easel says, I had some pork chops and macaroni.
Pork chops.
Sean Fenner asked, will there be any type of get together at East Coast? I couldn't make it to the one at Transworld.
You know what? I don't know. If you want to hang out, yes, this is my show voted most likely to hang out. So Sean, we should have a hangout evening. I know I'm trying very hard. If tickets come back for the Friday night haunt tour, then I'm going to buy them. Other than that, I'll be hanging out. We've got to pick a bar to hang out or a hotel to hang out that has a bar, because the way that place is set up, there's so many different hotels people are at. There's no one universal meeting place. So that kind of has to be established. And it's going to take somebody saying, this hotel is the one. Everybody come to this hotel. We will overwhelm them. It will be great.
Dark and Drekon says, hello to the crew from the queue.
Hello!
In queue.
Hey, Q. Q is one of our actor managers there, and I think he and I have been working together
Many moons.
15 years more.
Years?
A long time.
Long.
Long time.
Becky Hudson said Alan was doing a wall for a club last week. This might be part of it.
Yes. Yeah, I did work a little bit on this styrofoam bit. I thought I did. Yeah, this is all that styrofoam. Now it's coated in rock. I want to rock.
Rock.
Okay, if I put that there, no one will be able to see it. You'll see the work. If you want something to take 3 times longer than it should, film it. That's the rule.
It is done. Daniel Carusone says, hi Stacy, Rue, and Alan. Great to see you guys.
Do you want to spin
Hello.
the camera so I can look?
Little buddy.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Got a freezy freeze.
Oh no. All right, hang on.
No. See, the hand showed up. I'm getting a phone call. Just swipe it. Get it. Just go to tripod cam.
Yeah, you're on tripod.
Get this guy out of my way. He's drunk.
Little buddy.
Thank you.
Try and resuscitate him. Make no promises.
Is that a number you recognized?
John C. asks, is it reinforced inside? Because it's wide and flat, is it in danger of breaking when transporting?
Yes. Always constant danger. Yes, it is, but you just have to be careful with it. I actually have a piece of plywood that I foamed to the back, which should give it a little bit of support. I used spray foam as the adhesive, and I did it. You ask great questions.
I have a chart.
So yeah, we're doing big foam work today.
Q says, Alan, this year I believe makes 17 years of working together.
Wow, that's awesome.
Jordan Easel asks, what tools did you use for sculpting it?
Spray foam, a laser cutter, and a knife.
And the soldering iron.
Oh, and a soldering iron. Yeah, I did all the brickwork with a soldering iron.
Oh, I was about to check. Okay.
What's that?
I said, nope, Ozbot is for the evening toast.
That's fine. I'm a one-woman man, apparently a one-camera YouTuber.
One camera bro.
Got a good run there, having a couple cameras we could switch between.
That was functional. We still have a couple cameras we can switch between, but one of them is mounted on the thing.
One of them is your forehead.
Yeah, one of them is my
Only
forehead.
a forehead cam.
Zach Freshy Goff, or Go, on TikTok says, hello, Stiltbeast crew. Jason Lidman 505 on TikTok says, good afternoon, Alan.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see everybody.
John C says, if you're doing a wall for a club now, will you go to the Ren Fair weapons display and do a club for the wall?
I actually have a wall full of clubs at my monster museum.
1980, I was trying to fix the Ozbot, but I think it's toast. Daniel Caruso says, is that monster mud you're spreading on there now?
No, this is a gypsum material, so it's like a plaster, but it is called Structolite. It is a structural plaster that is meant to be put over foam or to be used as a scratch coat for, what's that called? Stucco.
Jordan Easel asked, is it a facade piece for a mausoleum?
This is a facade piece as a party decor.
Big Dan Custom Art says, I haven't heard Ozbot's name since the OG shop.
Well, he shows up here every now and then and works for 12 minutes.
Edson Glute says, want Rue to trip on the broken camera? The risk is not zero. Gray on TikTok says, now I know why you aren't home.
It's Wednesday, Greg.
It's Wednesday. This is now the second kid who is like, hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, it's Wednesday.
Same thing I do every
Same
Wednesday.
thing I do every Wednesday, except for the Wednesdays that I don't.
Our takeover of the world plan is totally failing,
Yeah.
by the way.
Is it?
I think so.
Depends on, it's not a fast plan.
Oh, I just realized what all those are. What is all this fur?
Sad
Bats.
Sad bat fur.
Gray says, come home, I'm lonely.
Sure, we'll use them on something.
Well, listen, if you had a car, you could come here and we'd put you to work.
Yeah, if you were an adult.
Jordan Easel asked, is Ozbot a fragile old man or a fussy little child?
Yes.
Yes.
Column A, column B.
Yeah, little a column A, little a column B.
She's a smart camera, but sometimes.
Gray says, rude, Alan, rude.
Just saying. All right. See a spot over there I gotta do? Because all of this is just you
Yep, that looks right.
see stuff that you missed over and over
He's got
again,
a
and then you do
little-
that.
little white bit that goes under his palm.
Alexa, add medium side cutters to my shopping list.
Close enough.
Ezekiel says, you haven't bought Gray a car? Well, we wouldn't buy her a car because she doesn't have a driver's license.
Does make it harder.
Slightly more difficult. Edson Boots says, what are you doing tonight? Trying to take over the world.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
I mean, I think so, right? But how are
I
we
think
going to fit
that,
all
right?
those hours into the job?
I think that, Ray, but how are we going to get a monkey to ride either thigh?
That was Cartman.
That was a little Cartman, he wasn't.
Gray asked, is there going to be a fire again?
All right, Gray.
And then she said, Mom, stop.
Gray's the reason TikTok's going to get banned.
Yeah. Ezekiel says, that never stopped anyone before. Edson says, great, now I need more side cutters. Thanks, Rue. Haunted Swamp Props said, how would you recommend to make fake taxidermy? I think I saw a deer head in your haunt. I came to St. Patrick's Sleigh, or maybe it was at the Darkness Haunt Tour. They all run together.
So I would go to vandykestaxidermy.com and buy a head form, and then I would cover it in fake fur. I'd buy the fake eyes. They have jaw sets. You could buy all the animal bits, aside from the fur, from Van Dyke's, and just put it together. It's really not hard, and it's, you know, you might end up spending $200 for the head, or you could sculpt the whole thing out of aluminum foil and then fur that, which it would not cost $200.
Stasia on TikTok says, hey folks.
Howdy.
Big Dan Custom Art says, who needs a driver's license? Just don't get pulled over. That's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah. I agree.
John Hayes says, question, how would you go about making a living statue process for the clothing?
So how I have done that in the past is you buy prom dresses or long sleeve wedding dresses. It's not the most comfortable thing. You just paint them with several coats of latex paint, and that stiffens them up enough. They're still movable, but they don't move all the time in the wind or with the person leaving. You can also set it up nicely on a mannequin and then spray it with leak seal, the same way that I do the Grim Reaper style props in a couple YouTube videos.
Robert Smith says, hey everyone.
Hello, Robert Smith. Hope things are going well for you.
John Hayes asks, are you applying Monster Mud?
I am applying a material called Structolite, which is used as a scratch coat for stucco, or it is also used for other stuff. It's a structural coating for styrofoam, which is what I'm doing.
Jordan Easel says, living statue must be one of the world's hardest talents to master.
You know what? What's sad about that is people really only master being a living statue once they die. That is an award given posthumously so often.
Diane Verval says, good evening to everyone. Robert Smith says, oh yes, I'm glad I could catch you live.
Hooray.
There's a really good living statue at TRF.
Yeah.
She's
Robert Smith,
really
I've always wanted to catch your man alive.
Big Dan Custom Art says, how much weight does that add onto the surface or overall structure?
A lot. Each bucket that we mix up is about 30 pounds. Probably added 90 pounds to this guy so far. And probably 8 pounds to the table as I make amends.
Jennifer Pugh says, Alan seems to be wearing a new shirt. Is he ruining it? Does Shannon know?
I picked this shirt for its ruinability, actually. This came pre-ruined right out of my closet, as if I owned it.
Cat Swift asks, will this be left rough, looking like cement, or will you paint this?
This will get painted.
Robert Smith says, one day. John Hayes says, what's the purpose for Structolite?
It is a structural coating for architectural foam.
Space
Ever
Base.
been to a Walgreens, and outside of Walgreens, they have like this band of stone? That's styrofoam with Structolite over it.
Space Base Freak 2 says, hey everybody, what are we working on?
We are making temple ruins. Sometimes I forget that doing a live video is answering the same question over and over. So what I'm doing is we're making temple ruins for an event, and I am adding coating to styrofoam right now. And this is just to protect the styrofoam.
There you go. Stasia on TikTok asked, what's the base of it made?
Styrofoam. White EPS. And if you're
And
looking
some
for
pink foam.
big blocks of styrofoam, don't look for styrofoam. Look for EPS. Expanded polystyrene.
Tate Hieronymus on TikTok asked, is this the Millennium Falcon? From the angle of the how on TikTok, it does give Millennium Falcon vibes.
Millennium Falcon vibes? Okay. Alex, would you mind taking the camera for TikTok and punish them by putting them outside? Make them stare at a wall. No, just give them a better view of what we're doing.
I mean, you got a pretty okay view. This is what you're...
It just looks, okay, it does look a bit like the Millennium Falcon. All right, I'll let you slide. Alex, you don't have to worry about it.
It doesn't get any taller. I wish it got taller.
Yeah.
It does.
Sean Tucker says cheers. Psychotic Circus of Savannah says hello.
Hello, Psychotic Circus of Savannah.
Haunted Swamp Props says, is Structuralite weatherproof? I have a giant skull that I made out of spray foam. I need to weatherproof so the foam doesn't rot.
Yes. Yes, it's weatherproof.
Gray says, that's the Star Wars things, right? Yep. Tate Hieronymus says the angle definitely gives those vibes.
Gray, minus 20 points from House Hufflepuff.
You cost us, Gray.
Cat Swift says, so it needs to get finished, completely dry, painted, and delivered by Friday. You are amazing, sir.
I don't know if that's the word that my wife would use.
Amazing might not be the word I'd use.
Choices were made.
We were doing other things last week.
Yeah.
We were in
Very
St.
much.
Louis.
Like
John
music.
Hayes says, Indiana Jones theme would be cool.
Thumbs.
So the next witch that I want to do here at Dark Hour, every now and then you kill off a witch and you make a new one. I want to do a Olmec witch, who were they're gone now, but they were in South America. They were pre-Aztec and Mayan, and they are who the Aztec and Mayan culture kind of derived from.
So some of these will get repurposed.
At some point, I would really love to do a Neanderthal witch.
Yeah. Tate Hieronymus on TikTok asked another question. Could you make a life-size Sasquatch?
Yes, I have made several life-size Sasquatches.
Sean Tucker says, any chance you'll be making a foam slimer?
A what?
A foam slimer?
We will eventually make a foam slimer, yes.
Ezekiel says, well, if a fire starts, there'll be Chewbacca sounds. John C. says, Home Depot said no more giant skeleton, but it's back with new and improved moving LED eyes.
Yeah, Home Depot stuff came out recently of what they're doing for Halloween.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
Gray says, I'm just doing my research for Disney. Beastman theme house when?
Dude, I wish.
Natty Pan says, good evening. Jordan Easel says, if you were given the opportunity to recreate Olmec from the Legends of the Hidden Temple, what would you do?
I would buy him from Creative Visions because Creative Visions pretty much has that. If they wanted like a whole new design, then what I would do is I would go a little more quetzalcoatl, you know,
Quetzalcoatl?
the serpent feathered,
Quetzalcoatl. Yeah,
the angry feathered serpent god.
that's the one.
With
I could have kept trying, but people would have thought I was having an aneurysm,
Yeah.
so I decided to stop.
Tate Hieronymus says, heck yes, I might have to get in touch with you guys then. And also, props, pun intended, on getting my last name right. No one ever does. Well, I am an art lover, and Hieronymus Bosch is awesome. So, there you go. Gray says, you're the owner. You could do it.
I don't own the rights to Beastman, is the problem. However, if I ever negotiate with Mattel, to do a Master of the Universe villain haunted house. It's happening.
Space Face Freak 2 asks, which witch would you kill off to replace?
I can't tell you that because then my staff would know and they would revolt.
1980 says natural history with Alan Hobbs. Big Dan Custom Art says if you want good reference for a Neanderthal witch, I'll send a pic of my ex-mother-in-law.
See.
Jordan Easel says Quetzalcoatl, yes. Warmonger says, hello all, what type of binder primer, if any, do you apply to the foam before coating?
What kind of what?
Binder primer. Do you apply to the foam before coating?
I didn't do any on this because this is meant to stick to foam. This actually has in it little tiny bits of like fiberglass in order to really make a nice skin. So this is for that. If I wasn't doing that, then I would mix in like Acryl 60, some kind of a bonder fortifier. Acryl 60, it's a good one for concrete and any gypsum that you can get at Home Depot.
Gray says, I'll meet them at Disney and tell him. Tate Hieronymus says, hashtag revolt. John
Yeah, you
C.
can't let the
says,
staff know which you're killing.
it has to be a secret up until it's
Because
too late.
suddenly that would become their favorite.
Of course. No, not my favorite.
Right.
$88 people currently joining. Oh, 91 people currently joining us on TikTok.
My main goal is I would kill whatever witch's part of the haunt doesn't work. Like what needs the most work, and then that's the witch you kill because then you can do a lot of work in that area. But I'm probably a year or two out still from killing a witch because I'm just not finished. Like I want to get all the witches I have finished.
1980 says, keep making fun of Neanderthal women. You'll become part of the club. But these are the jokes. Wow, that jumped up 160 people watching on TikTok right now.
It's temporary.
Sure.
I won't possibly hold their attention. This is also, so Structolite, you have like 5 hours to work with it. It's not like regular plaster where it's dry in 30 minutes. UltraCal 30 minute set time. This is, 4.5, 5 hours. And it's still, I can mix up a bucket, go to lunch, come back, finish applying it.
So someone whose username is just a bee on TikTok says, wow, I was not expecting to see my uncle live this evening.
Hello, how are you? I think I know who that is.
Tall Goofy Guy says, you guys excited for the new Alien movie?
I haven't
Hold
seen
on one
anything
second.
about that.
Rue, is there a new Alien movie?
I was just saying. I had no idea there was a new
As soon as I
Alien,
hear about the new Alien movie, I will be quasi-excited.
which I am an Alien guy and a big fan, so I am very surprised I have not heard.
But I do keep you busy.
Yeah, you do keep me very busy.
Jordan Easel says, so you'd make Olmec look like a feathered snake?
I would give aspects of that.
John Hayes says, I was a Grim Reaper in a haunt and a little kid called me Skeletor.
Nice. That means you're winning.
1980 says they came for the shrimp content.
I have been dressed up as Beastman in the haunt because I have a costume. And
We're shocked.
But
I'm sure everyone's shocked. you
Jordan
have a face
Easel
paint costume.
says, I think it makes more sense to give him cobblestone texture, but that's just spitballing on my part.
well, I don't think that he would have cobblestone texture if he were new. Like if you're making a ruin, then maybe. But
Gray says, oh my god, there's more of Alan? Terrifying.
I got family, yo. Not a lot, but some.
Matthew Keller on TikTok says, that 1980 is freaking hilarious.
I see. That deck is stacked.
I'm convinced these nails just vanish randomly. I'm missing one again.
Okay.
I have replacements, but
Gray says, don't say yo.
Is yo bad?
I don't know.
I can say yo. Yo bad?
Big Dan Custom Art says the new Alien trailer looks a little cringe. I hope I'm wrong. Dark and Drekon says I just saw the trailer for the new Alien movie about 30 minutes ago, so I think it was put out very recently. Jordan
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of media.
Jordan Easel says, so Cobblestone is newer?
Yeah.
John C. says Alien Romulus is the name.
Okay.
Oh, I had no idea about that.
Okay. Does it have Sigourney Weaver in it?
That's my second favorite Greek brother who discovered Rome,
Yep.
founded Rome.
Second favorite.
Yeah. Remus, his brother, would be my favorite.
I
Werewolf
would
guys.
make a comment, but I will
They-
refrain.
They were both supposed to be. They were both raised by a wolf.
Yeah,
Was the story?
but I was just saying, why is Remus better than Romulus?
Because it's shorter to spell and say.
Got it.
It's just less work.
Ezekiel says the new Crow looks poxy.
I originally hated the look of the new Crow, but after seeing the actual trailer, I'm kind of intrigued.
So there's two movies that they have infinite chances for sequels with, and they haven't really done it. One of them is The Crow, because that happens like throughout history and throughout time. I want a Viking crow. Can I just have a Viking crow, please? Or an ancient Ireland crow, where it's the Morrigan sets them up and says, hey, go do this thing. You know, that would be really cool. You would get a nice Norse revenant. You would get a good crow story. There'd probably be cool battle axes. That's always a plus.
What was the one you said the other day that you wanted?
There is a movie called The Relic. It is a 90s horror movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Well, and because the monster makes its own DNA from the animals and things around it, you could make like 30 different Relic movies and all have different cool looking monsters.
There was a crow one though that we were talking about.
Feudal Japan.
No, that wasn't it.
I would love to have the
That
crow
would be
from
cool,
Feudal
but that
Japan.
wasn't the one that you'd said the other day.
Didn't I say Viking?
It was Viking, but there was like a specific thing with the crow.
Jordan Easel says crowpox, chickenpox,
that
birdpox.
You wanted it put together.
1980 says they made 3 Crow movies. Carrigoff says Viking Crow, you genius. Appalachian Horror Company on TikTok says any tips for a mask and prop maker starting in the industry?
Yes, materials knowledge, because you're going to have jobs that if you have a couple things that you go to all the time and that's how you make things, if everything is a plaster mold and then a latex prop that's foam filled, then there's only certain things that you can do. But if you have other techniques and materials that you can take advantage of, then that's going to change how much you can do things for cost-wise and the time in which you can do them. I can do this piece fast because of the materials that I'm using. If I chose to do it a different way, it would take 3 times longer. Or some ways it could cost 4 times as much. So materials knowledge, to turn that into time and budget. More materials knowledge gives you a wider range of budgets you can work in and time that you can work in.
Jordan Easel asked, did chickenpox get its name from how the victims looked like they were brutalized by poultry?
That I do not know.
Carrigoff says the Relic was wonderful. I love that movie. Hello, everyone. 1980 says the crow is Odin in bird form, so a female Viking crow would basically be a Valkyrie.
I don't know.
John Hayes says, like to see Alan dressed in a feathered cowl headdress like the movie Lady Hawk. Haven't seen feathered costumes.
We do feathered costumes every now and then.
Big Dan Custom Art says a Viking Crow movie will never be better than Vikings versus Krampus movie.
Oh, I think a lot of things are better than the Vikings versus Krampus movie.
Ezekiel says, I just wish they would leave things alone. Remakes are so dumb when the original was great.
But it doesn't have to be a remake. Like, the concept of the Crow is that every now and then a crow chooses someone to bring back.
Yep.
So...
And they explore a lot of it in the comics, too.
Mm-hmm. I am fairly that's one thing I was disappointed by this. Why didn't they just make it another Crow?
Yes.
Instead of trying to make him Eric Draven again.
I haven't seen the trailer. I've seen a lot of people sharing and griping about the trailer, which makes me not want to watch the trailer.
I actually really liked it. I think it's a very different feel to it. It's very modern. Modern rock stars have face tattoos. I hate to tell y'all, but they do. And yeah, it's gonna be.
I think modern mumble rappers have face tattoos.
Modern. Post
Name
Malone.
him. He's a mumble rapper.
Posty.
He's not a rock star.
Post Malone's not a mumble rapper. He's a singer.
Aspiring Eve on TikTok says, hello, that is my middle kid, Evelyn.
Oh, hello. Hello. So, isn't Post Malone a rapper?
I don't know.
No.
What?
No.
Name a song by Post Malone.
Is it sunflowers?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is the
sunflowers.
poll now.
Yeah.
Is Post Malone a rapper or a singer? I've never seen Post Malone stand with a guitar.
I have.
Aspiring Eve says, yeah, kind of. Cynthia on TikTok says, not a rapper,
originally thought he
singer.
was a rapper too, and come to find out.
1980
nope.
says, not a rapper. John C says, Pock is pustules in Old
Not a
English. Dark and Drakon says, I'm on the fence about the new Crow movie, but have gone from skeptical to excited about the new Beetlejuice movie.
So, hold on. Would you say that he's a rock singer?
No, I mean,
Evie
that's what rock
says,
stars are now.
Post Malone made Circles, so I'd consider him a singer.
Oh, yes.
Cynthia says, hi Shannon. Not Shannon, it is Stacy.
Yes. Ha, I tricked you again.
Tricked again. Leonard Cook says, Alan, have you ever considered writing a book on your life experiences?
I don't have the time. I wrote a book by accident once. That was cool.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Alan, how should I adhese these? Oxy?
5-minute epoxy is probably your best bet.
A lot of like gap to fill and stuff, so I think so.
Yeah.
Jennifer Pugh says, I'm going to watch the rest of the future. Good night, Stiltbeast crew.
Pew pew pew.
Good night.
Good night, Jennifer.
Guten Nacht.
Cynthia on TikTok says, not rock. R&B and rock have mixed in the last 10 years, and it's that new mix of R&B and rock.
Okay.
Ezekiel says, like, now how upset would you be if they made Princess Bride with modern day actors, etc.?
I don't think it would be as good, but again, why not a different Dread Pirate Roberts story? Once again, you're in a situation where they blatantly tell you in the movie, I'm not the original Dread Pirate Roberts. I'm not even like the third Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, I want a Dread Pirate Roberts origin story.
I want a different Dread Pirate Roberts story. And then it's like, okay, it's the Dread Pirate Roberts, but it's like a completely different looking dude.
Yeah.
And he's just picking up his crew, you know? Then you have a bumbling Dread Pirate Wobbits.
Wobbles.
Wobbles.
1980 says Vikings versus Mayans. Now there's a fun historical fiction book. Big Dan Custom Art says, but do you really consider them face tattoos? They look more like a detention desk drawing. 1980 says, not a rapper.
We didn't say that. All right, we cannot judge the quality of the tattoo. Either it's a tattoo or it's not a tattoo.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that it's good. Like, you know, some people put their kids' art on the fridge and some people don't.
Karagoff says, absolutely agree. There was no need to make the Crow Eric again. Ezekiel says, Post Malone, I'm not entering this conversation.
Yeah, that's probably just to save us.
June Ritchie says, I'm going to put it on my Hi. June Ritchie says, Google says he's an American rapper and singer.
And singer.
And singer. Warmonger says Hollyweird has been talentless in the new content department for many, many years. Haunted Swamp Prop says, what do you use for foam filling props?
Foam. Next question. Okay, so it depends on what I'm using the prop for. Our favorite foam around here is probably TC 266, which is a really soft foam, which is almost like prosthetic quality. I'm working over here.
Okay.
I just had to get this set up. That's why I moved that over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Point that at Alex. What's Alex doing?
We're going to find out. You're on the monitor talking right now. Hold, please. So I'm both reading comments and directing.
What are you doing, Alex? Tell them.
I'm felting animals for the party.
Making animals.
Animals.
So yeah, this is a photo op. That's a layered photo op that It's a layered photo op that we're doing. It's a layered photo op that we're doing. You're gonna do it in that little drawer right there. It's a sloth. Yeah. So these were laser cut out of felt, put them together, and then there's several layers, so there's depth to it of the animals, and you can walk into the jungle and take a picture with all the animals.
Gray says, I'd like to say that Evie hung up the phone with me to come on here. Evelyn said agreed. Alan Davies on TikTok asks, what are we looking at here?
It depends on when you ask that question. Right now, what you're looking at is you are looking at me. I'm adding structolite to this temple.
1980 says, by accident once, the biography of 1980, MKE. Sean Fenner says, watching AI translate the closed captioning and what it thinks you all are saying, lol. Yep, that used to be my job security. Edson Glute says, gee, you know what the world needs is maybe a story about a kid who got bit by a spider. Grr. And Post Malone is just another felon that California felt bad for. Diane Verbal says, foam, tee-hee. Cynthia on TikTok says, wait, I'm conflicted. The Dread Pirate Roberts remake? Yes and no.
Not a remake. Oh, okay.
He's never done.
I'm not team remake. I don't want a remake. I just want a new Dread Pirate Roberts story. A different Dread Pirate Roberts story.
Ezekiel says, I'm banned from talking about kids bitten by spiders. Zodi said so.
Noise. Yeah, I don't need another Spider-Man origin story pretty much ever.
And I think I'm caught up on comments. Woo! Cynthia says on TikTok says, yeah, not a remake, just a backstory movie. That'd be great. I'd love that. So all of the things that Alex is gluing together right now are the things I laser cut over the last couple of days.
So much laser cut.
So much laser cutting. There's been a lot of it. The bear in the middle of the
Woods.
the big piece here, laser cut. So much foliage laser cut.
But it's gonna look really cool.
Haunted Swamp Props asks, could I use latex in a silicone mold?
No. Okay. The short answer is no. The long answer is yes. The short answer, no, being because latex air cures, all right? Two things happen to make a latex mask happen. The plaster of a plaster mold wicks moisture out of the latex, so all of the latex touching the plaster will cure. And then you let it sit. However long you let it sit, that's how thick it gets, and you pour out the excess. And then it has to air dry. So a mold that doesn't have a lot of access to air will not dry in any reasonable amount of time, possibly never. It's like you put it back in a bucket. But here's the yes long answer. If you have a silicone mask mold and you warm up that mold, you get it nice and warm, like 200 degrees. And then you pour latex in and pour latex out, enough, cornstarch your mold, then latex it, enough latex will stick for the next layer of latex to stick. It still has to air dry, and you've got to do like 4 or 5 layers. So it's a pain in the butt, but it can work. But just make a plaster mold if you want latex.
Shannon asked, did anyone dump out the latex of that bat blank?
I did.
Good job, wife.
It's probably still draining.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Ezekiel says he's also banned from talking about Harry Potter and Transformers and Avengers and Jordan Easel asks, who's the kind lady wearing the white leopard print headband? It's cow print, and that is Alex. She's our director of costuming and an all-around badass.
You've seen Alex on YouTube Wednesdays if you watch those things, but Alex is not on a lot of lives, but every now and then Alex will show up on a live.
Yeah. Aspiring Eve on TikTok says, my worry that it wouldn't have the same humor that Princess Bride has because that's iconic. A dream, really. And Cynthia says it could, if done right, it could.
Ezekiel is banned from talking about Princess Bride too.
Yeah.
So.
Karagoff says, hi, Alex. 1980 says, Miles Morales' Spider-Man is an extension of the Spider-Verse that has a lot of depth and is more relatable for the new generation of young moviegoers. And a fantastic film series. Absolutely.
Okay.
Ezekiel says, there's plenty of noise here. June Ritchie says, good night, all. Good night, June.
Good night, June.
Good night, June. Good night, Marianne. Hey, John Boy. John Boy.
Shannon is, in fact, the Minister of War and Finance.
She's what?
The Minister of War and Finance.
Yeah.
1980 says, 1980 is not on any lives, but he does appear on many nerves.
The last nerves.
The under bit is like 5% smaller, so it should be
We just want it to support, we don't want it to show.
not lined up. You need to break his little feet off, you can.
Break his little
Break his feet off. Alright, I'm going to spin you so that you don't have to watch that. You watch Alan do the thing.
It's probably weirder than
Steve Ellis 397 says, what the heck are you guys doing?
I'm making temple ruins. So this is a big foam structure that we are working on. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Right now I'm adding a stone coating to it.
Aspiring Eve says, wait, that sounds wrong. 142 people on TikTok right now.
Holy moly. We all need stuff to do on a Wednesday night. So yeah, this is work, by the way. This is we're at work, working. Anybody on TikTok? Hello. I don't go live on TikTok a lot. I'm trying to get better, meaning I'm trying to do more. How many people on TikTok don't like people on TikTok? They might not even know that we have a YouTube channel. They might not know any of that. We do a lot of Halloween haunted house stuff. We're at Dark Hour Haunted House right now in Plano, Texas.
And you may actually have to repeat that because the phone is way the heck over here, and they're saying they can't hear you.
All right, then I won't talk to them anyway. see how that works?
Steve Ellis, we are at work at Dark Hour Haunted House making stuff for a party that is Friday.
This is high-end party decor right now.
High-end
Normally,
party
we do
decor.
haunted house stuff.
Normale, haunted house stuff. John Hayes says Corby and I don't even know how to say that. Catyogl? Corby or raven is sacred to the All-Father. Catyogl or owl is consecrated to the goddess of wisdom for Viking folklore. Sean Fenner says there are plenty of cryptids out there that Hollywood has yet to touch with a good origin story. Could be a series, Cryptid Origins.
Don't touch my cryptid.com.
1980 says, just want to support, not to show sounds like a job for Spanx. Big Dan Custom Art says, I'm sitting here playing adhesive watch on someone YouTube, watching someone on YouTube playing with adhesives.
I love adhesives.
Edson Glute says, did you score the foam from Tractor Supply?
No, I got this foam from an archery target place. They shot at it for years, and then they gave it to me. So it came full of holes. It looked a bit like a coral reef, but there was enough salvageable, there's no D in salvageable.
No.
Sell vegetable?
One day I will take a ride in a salvageable dirigible.
Cynthia on TikTok says he also loves heat guns.
I do love me some heat guns.
John Hayes says, I can hear clear. John, that comment on not being able to hear came from TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, you can actually kind of see behind him there the pillar just behind his head is very pockmarked from all of the arrows.
Yeah, that was not detailing you had to put in. We took advantage of detailing that was already there.
Steve Ellis says, oh, I see, said the blind man on TikTok. Cynthia says, testing heat guns on his hand.
Yeah, so we have a YouTube channel called Still P Studios where we do Halloween and haunted house how-to stuff. And we have a YouTube channel called Still Piece Live. We're live on Still Piece Live right now. And on that camera's TikTok.
218 people on TikTok right now.
TikTok is about to get banned. I thought I'd give it a shot, you know, see how that goes.
Ezekiel says, is that product non-flammable?
It is stone, so yes.
Edson Boot says, woohoo, great score.
The last time I was live on TikTok, I did catch something on a lot of fire, not just a little fire. I did it correctly.
Steve Ellis says, you need to be a fashion model, pretty as you are.
Thanks.
Might have been talking to Alex.
Maybe. I
But
think it was meant for me.
Between the two of them,
Wasn't talking to me.
Alex is
If
the pretty
only I
one.
had my bangs still.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Where'd your bangs go?
Someone had them blown
I
off.
dusted Alex off with the air blower, and
The bangs went fly.
the bangs flew away. She had a bit of bear fur tucked under her headband.
John Hayes says, have you heard of Coral Castle?
I have heard of Coral Castle in Florida that was reportedly built by the powers of some man's mind. Yes.
Edson Glute says, I hear. Avocado.
Probably the guy who invented it is mad that people say he built it with his mind. It's like, no, the carry goes wrong.
Matthew Keller says, they still have the screen cap of that.
I think the
See.
Coral Castle was on In Search Of
Ah.
with Leonard Nimoy as the host. And that is where I first heard of the Coral Castle.
Aspiring Neve says, hey, it seems like things catch on fire a lot.
Every now and then,
Only occasionally.
I
you
don't
know,
know.
one sheep over a fence.
Edson says, Alan looks great with the whole weight loss, and we used to call that shop shower. Shower. Shop shower. A shop shower.
Yes, a shop shower would be with the air gun. Yeah, I'm down really close to 40 pounds, so I'm not going to complain.
Appalachian Horror Company on TikTok asks, do you all track recent horror trends like analog horror, mascot horror, and others?
No. We actually stopped doing our mascot horror haunted house, what, 7 years ago? Something like that?
No.
Always.
No. Because I spent at least a season there, and it was and a
How many
season-
years have you been here?
This will be 8 years this year.
Okay.
So
So you spent one season there.
I spent a season there, and there was a season that I spent in the house regular, not in Carl's.
It's like 5 years ago.
So like 5 years.
So 5 years ago, we stopped doing our mascot horror themed haunted house.
Somebody put a hat on you briefly.
Who had a hat?
I don't know, but it just went away. Bill on TikTok says, much love to the haunt community. Macabre Intention says, wait a minute, I'm making a vine-covered wall costume as well. Get out of my head, Alan Hops.
So this is a vine-covered wall is what I'm working on right now. So yes, Joe and I made a very similar costume theme for the Transworld show. At least, that's good company.
Cynthia says, way to go. Matthew Keller says, now there's a movie about killer cereal mascots. Aspiring Eve says, I've seen Carl's Playhouse. That one was way creepy.
It was way creepy. It was way wrong. One of the only.
Oh, touchy Pete.
Here's what's funny. All right. So Carl was a child murderer, attacker, with hints of much worse. All right. And it was Carl's Playhouse. The only person who ever complained to me about Carl's Playhouse and the theme was arrested for pedophilia like a few years later.
Oh my
Like the
God.
only person who ever said, hey, this is wrong, like got arrested for that.
Makes sense.
To me, it's like, you're supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be the most horrible things you can think of. What is worse than, often kids? Not much.
Cynthia says, oh my God, I love Carl.
No one should love Carl.
Aspiring Eve says, oh my God. Jason, what? On TikTok says, hi, Ellen. Hi, Shannon. Tricked you again. It's a Stacy, not a Shannon.
That's right. They just sound alike.
Ezekiel says, they have the best firemen in Texas on board. Fires aren't a problem. Speaking of Shannon. Edson says, usually when Rue is walking around, there's a better chance of flames.
Yeah, blame
Jo-
Rue.
John C. says, in search of the castle secrets.
Not
1981.
even the fire guy at all.
What's that, Stacy?
John C. says, in search of the castle of secrets, 1981.
Yeah! I was very excited about that. Sorry.
Sean Fenner says, are you going to paint in details when it's all done? If so, what colors?
So this will be like a buff colored tannish rock, tan rock colored. And then we will do like several dark brown washes. The vines will get hit with a brownish green. Yeah, I may put peat moss over the vines. We'll see.
Silly Zombie says, I need to get your I work here pin. I always forget to ask.
Yeah. Okay, I work.
Sean Fenner says, Stacy, your nickname should now be not Shannon. Stunt life. Cynthia says, I mean Alan's Carl. I love Alan's Carl.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was still the same person.
Yeah.
Carl's a terrible person.
Ezekiel says, I got to meet Carl in person. What a joy. He's world famous, even in the third world. Matthew Keller on TikTok says, where do we sign up to join the 1980 MKE fan club?
I know there's at least one member.
Jensik on TikTok says, slay on the texturing. I had fun working on it.
Who is that?
I imagine that is our intern,
Is that Sydney?
I believe. Yep, Sydney.
Hooray!
Hi, Sydney. John Hayes says, like the mummy, have stone-looking people look like stone statues come to life. Have some with written Aztec symbols on face and arms like the cop from Highway to Hell.
Yeah, Highway to Hell.
Stasia says, you should come to Australia and show us Aussies how to build good props.
I will get to Australia one day.
I'll go.
I'm planning a UK trip first, probably.
Yeah.
I'll go to that too.
Sydney says, hooray! Yensid, I guess is backwards.
Oh. Steaks were made here.
Yep, choices were made. Oh, your live has ended
Goodbye, live.
on TikTok.
Okay. Oh, probably time?
You gonna say?
Is the phone not charging, maybe?
The phone does not. Oh, left unattended.
Due to inactivity.
Ah,
Huh?
well, there you go.
Who was inactive?
Well, you were live, actively. Ezekiel says, I promise to be a good tour guide on that trip.
I feel active. I will accept it. I will accept your tourism.
1980 asks, what lost civilization is your inspiration for the ruins?
So I used two. I used Aztec ruins and I used Angkor Wat in Cambodia. I do not know the culture's name who made Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat.
And we're back live on TikTok. Sorry, guys.
Well, we don't know what happened. You're not there, so I'll just talking.
Things are fine. Now, to see how to find it.
Not to ask my TikTok expert why that happened.
Yeah. John Hayes asks, what are the vines made of?
The vines are spray foam, and then I'm putting rock over them. So yeah, there's they are Loctite foam.
Oh no. I haven't been paying attention where I've been spraying.
Oh no, your phone.
My screen is a little covered in spray adhesive.
Oh no.
Whoops.
I've never done that before.
Ha!
Anyone? No one believes me? That's fine.
I remember when you spray painted right across the face of your phone.
Cat Swift says Rue tripped on the TikTok cord.
Right.
Who did not trip on the TikTok cord?
Sydney says it was me. I made the mistake on it being too thin.
Nope, just takes layers.
Yeah. Layers.
Karagoff says trip to the UK. Whenever that happens would be brilliant. Cynthia Saunders says TikTok died. Yeah, we got it fixed, guys. Sorry. 1980 says acetone wipes. Stat. Ezekiel says sticky phone.
It's just one year at Transworld. What I'll do is I'll set up and say, listen, I'm going to we're doing a UK haunt tour. Here's when we'll be there. Set up a visit. And we can do consultation and all that.
Yeah. Silly Zombie says, when are you going to get sponsored gear to wear during your stream? Need a pool noodle shirt.
I don't know if my pool noodle company has shirts. That's a good idea. I should ask.
Diane
I will.
Verval says, rubbing alcohol will remove the adhesive, Alex.
Thanks.
Well, I guess killing the live stream and jumping back in was a good idea because now we're at 548 people.
It's temporary. Hi guys, we're making sets for a party. There is a big benefit this weekend in Dallas, and we are making decor for a party that supports that whole weekend of fundraising.
Is this one also a 5%?
Yes. I would say if you have to cheat anywhere, cheat on the hands.
And rip his little hands off.
Yeah, we want the tail.
Okay, I need to go grab a drink of my beverage. I'll be right back.
Greg on TikTok says, wow, that's cool. Cynthia Saunders says, make a shirt from Pool Noodles.
That's what I had pictured when he said pool noodle shirt.
Yeah.
You know what? I have made shirts out of pool noodles. I did armor that was like all sleeves that you slid half pool noodles into for a paintball haunted house, and it was very effective armor. Except that they didn't break; they ended up they would bounce off, and people liked to see them break. The actors much preferred if they bounced off.
1980 says, Alan, touring the UK in a tartan curtain. Edson Glue says, I'm sorry, you know someone with a cricket. Stasia on TikTok says, if you come to Australia, let us know. We're working on our first Haunters Expo and would love to have you.
Send me information to stiltbeatstudios@gmail.com.
Graphy UK says, hi guys, it'd be great if you came here to the UK.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we will eventually. It's got to be, like, I want to do like a structured tour so I can hit all of the haunts and parks that I meet at Transworld.
Cynthia Saunders says, there isn't anything you can't do.
I suppose that's fair.
Kind of our
It's kind of a
unwritten
thing.
motto.
Yeah. Stasia on TikTok says, will do, mate.
What am I doing?
I said, will do.
Oh,
They'll message you.
Great. Yeah, messages.
Sean Fenner says, new Stiltby swag, Pool Noodle Master t-shirts. Master of the Noodle.
Noodle master.
Noodle Master. John C. Says Angkor Wat Phin, Cambodia, temple of Vishnu for the Khmer Empire in the 12th century, then transformed to a Buddhist temple 120 years later.
Yeah, I think that's most of the heads that I see. They're very Buddha. They're very Buddhist.
These are going to require some filling afterwards.
Probably. Did you glue your finger in there?
No. There's just.
Yeah.
So, Alex, are your hands sticky free enough to turn the camera to see what Rue is doing?
The camera?
You just missed one of them.
Nicole Lidman on TikTok says, awesome, how fun.
I'll pretend.
So, right now, in the shop, Alex is putting together animals for a photo op. Rue is putting together a set of bear gloves so that he can, so that someone
I got it
can
on
be a
monitor
bear
so we can move cameras.
on Friday night. And then for a costume. And then I am putting a hard coat on assembly.
Sean Fenner says, Masters of the Noodleverse. Edson Glute says, I see the Hollywood Haunters are back putting out videos.
They are indeed. They took a little hiatus. But they are back.
1980 says, use your noodle t-shirt with a picture of Alan with a pool noodle. Where's Masato?
Use Your Noodle could go a little adult if we're not careful. This is kind of a blue crowd.
Yeah. Ezekiel says, how is Edson's hoodie? Did it fit good?
Saying hello to the camera people.
Said hello to
Oh,
the
you
camera
did?
people.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And then I showed them the claw.
Where'd you go for dinner?
Huh? I went to Andalus.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm so full.
John Hayes says, the Khmer Empire, built by the Khmer king, Suryavarman? I can't say that. 11, in the first half of the 12th century, around the year 1110 to 1150.
I'm
Daniel-
sure that's all off the top of his head.
I'm sure. Daniel Caruso says, claws look awesome, Rue.
Thank you.
Sydney says, sounds like it's going to be a very good time.
Oh, geez, I'm not.
Yeah,
Take it to your mom.
yeah, just take it off. The fingies in the air.
Okay, but you're still gonna have one of you.
Okay. I need a brush. I want to brush out what I've got on there. Need to get real brushes. These are little brushes. Sorry, guys.
Nicole Littman on TikTok says, so glad to see you here. We've bought about 10 or more pieces for you over the years. They've held up well through the haunts.
Hooray! Yeah, we like haunted house stuff. I've been doing haunts.
Tim O'Connell says, Kildare Haunted City Crew says hi.
Alright, so now I have brushes that I'm going to, I have like a pattern on this, and I don't want a pattern.
I'm going to put you back on the...
I'll move the tripod in.
Ezekiel says, is Love and War restaurant still around the corner?
It is. Alex, the tripod is now right behind you, so
Now I can be interactive so it doesn't kick us off.
Jason Lidman
Yes.
on TikTok says, I love them. Nicole Lidman says, he's here. John Hayes says, since you make props, do you decorate cakes the same way, being creative?
I do not decorate cakes.
I do, though.
Wait, did I make? No, I didn't make a cake. I thought I made a cake.
Made a turkey.
Yeah, I decorate my things. Okay, this is the worst possible angle for this. There, now we're good.
1980, we're not reading that.
Yeah.
I decorate turkeys every Thanksgiving. I decorate the turkey.
I may have giggled.
Yeah. I'm not going to read that because I wouldn't be able to not read it in an accent, and it'd be terrible. So. Ezekiel says you decorate turkeys. I don't know if that was a question or a statement, but yes.
I do, yes. Here in the States, we have Thanksgiving because we only are thankful one time a year for what we have.
And
the
even
rest,
then.
it's all gimme, gimme, gimme. Yell at your uncle, and then we're good. But, yeah, we make a big turkey, and it's a big roast turkey, and I make a monster out of it, and I have made a YouTube video out of it.
Edson says he does great turkeys. Karagoff says the turkeys are really something.
What's funny is that that's one of my least popular YouTube videos. There are a lot of people who do not like that I decorate turkeys. I really can't tell what TikTok. Hey, touch the TikTok, Alex.
Touch the
Touch
TikTok.
the TikTok. Touch their hearts and minds
Taste the biscuit.
and scroll the massages.
HBK Style says, what up? Just tuned in. What are you making tonight?
So this is a giant Aztec-ish ruin, and that's what this is. Alex is making felt animals for a photo op for the same party. Rue is opening 74 packages of Cracker Jacks to see which one has the best prize.
Cameron B on TikTok asks, is Teddy or Boston there?
They tend to go home at normal going home time unless we really need them.
Sean Fenner says, need to sign off for the night. Good night, all.
This is kind of a weird thing that we do. Good night, Sean. This is kind of a weird thing that we do. We're here from 9 to 5 normally, so 9 to 6, I guess.
1980 says, title of tonight's live, Alan, stoned and loving it.
That's right.
Cat Swift says, I post a picture of your turkey each year at my work. Lots of giggles from most. Ezekiel says, Rue is yawning and making beast fists. Aspiring Eve on TikTok says, I'm back.
Hooray, we missed you.
Good night, Dark Hour.
Our 12 people
Good night,
watching
Shannon.
our TikTok.
231 people are watching our TikTok.
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:43.
Okay. So I probably should not mix another batch right now.
Probably not. I mean, you're more than welcome to.
But I'm leaving.
But at 9, I will be exiting the scene.
Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. I need to walk around these guys now. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't textured those up there. So yes, I'll be making another batch. Alex, can you get the cameras on Rue to talk about what Rue is doing so that I can mix another batcho?
Nobody's interested in my cracker cakes.
1980 says Beast Fist. That was my old girlfriend's nickname. Hey, good.
Hello everyone. Oh, not quite on me yet. Oh, now it is. Hello everyone. I am putting claws onto bear gloves.
John Hayes says, remember, moss grows on the north-facing side.
We don't lost them until tomorrow afternoon.
1980 said she was handy to keep around. Ba-doom-tsh.
Good.
These are the jokes.
Are they?
Big Dan Custom Art says Cracker Jack toys in the 70s were way better. You used to get lead toys in those.
Yeah.
Just straight lead paint chips.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I was so mad the first time I got a Cracker Jack box, like, since they changed them completely and it was just like a paper fold out. Like, it wasn't even a toy. It was just like nothing. It was like an ad. I
So,
was so
and the
mad.
plastic toys aren't any more of a choking hazard than the Cracker Jacks themselves.
No.
As long as you thoroughly chew the toy, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stasia on TikTok asked, what are the claws made from?
These claws are made from Easy Flow 60 resin.
It's an AB resin that you mix together, and then about 10 minutes it becomes plastic.
Aspiring Eve says, "Hi, it's Evan. You guys look so cool."
Hello, thank you. We are cool. We are cool people.
Listen,
Doing cool things.
as long as we look cool, we don't actually have to be cool.
I look like a homeless person who lives in a cement plant. That's what I look like right now.
Yeah, going to dinner, I was like, I've looked worse going to restaurants.
Here I am.
Stinkaroo12 on TikTok says hi.
That is a great name.
Stinkaroo12.
Hey,
Are there 11
how dare you?
Are there 11 other stinkaroos? That's the question. I think your name is Stinker Rick.
Cat Swift asks, "Rue, what are you doing to the claws?"
I'm putting them on these gloves. And making bear gloves.
So Lance Pope used to make gloves this way for Verdun Manor, which was a haunted house here in Texas. And a very strong haunt tradition, especially around here for Lance, but he's, haunt legend. He passed away very early 2000s, and we happened to get a pair of his gloves. We did a resculpt. Rue did a resculpt, and so we actually molded cloth that he made. It's just in order to kind of keep that alive a little bit.
Authenticity. Big Dan Custom Art says, "Rue's one-stop monster manicure shop." Ezekiel says, "Hey Alan, do you have a rat/rodent mask? Not having any luck finding a decent one."
I do. I have a good one. It's
Yeah.
called Skaven. What color fur do you want on it?
Currently, I'm trimming them to be able to fit into the sockets that they go in. If we
Edson,
weren't live, I would be doing it,
With the Dremel.
yeah, with the Dremel and making a lot of noise.
you could do it with a Dremel now. Edson says, "Rue's doing a manicure on a random bear hand. Just another day. That must be Wednesday."
Bear paw.
I was trying to see, I guess, is the Skaven bucked? Yeah, it is. It's up
It's
above.
up there.
It's just not labeled. Terror pin, above the terror pin. Warmonger says, "Rue seems to be battling the nipping of the resin."
Yeah.
It's flash. Yes.
Where is it? I know it's up there.
It's above terrapin.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Skaven mask is fun to paint too.
Yeah. John Hayes asked, "Why did the Aztec owl not know what the other two owls were saying to each other? They were in cahoots." Ba-doom-tsh.
The joke was so bad you're getting punished. You read it out loud.
Just a bad joke on a bad joke. Like,
How dare you! All right.
I'm fired?
After tomorrow, few more days.
Yeah.
Then it's Monster Museum season.
Yeah, it would be really inconvenient to fire me now.
When is,
We
when
can
is the
we can
off?
shy you off somewhere else
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
Oh.
We're
Really
cracking
hard.
up Sharon on TikTok.
Okay.
Aspiring Eve says meow.
Oh, it's an owl.
Yeah, so earlier today we had like
Ah,
30 people working.
I don't know if she's wanting to use the name Sharon, for that is the name that is listed on TikTok. But
That's fair.
but Sharon, question mark, says hi, homies.
Hi.
Hi.
Woo!
How's the beach?
While I don't think it's a terrible idea for you to behave in front of Sharon, Evie, I think you're thinking of Shannon.
Yes, Shannon. That's who my wife is.
Yeah. Sharon says beautiful on the.
Wait.
I think maybe he was talking to Alex, just like my creative
How the
homies.
beaches work.
Oh.
Tim O'Connell says, "Love your YouTube videos. You are the Bob Ross of haunts."
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. That's very kind.
It's a high compliment, Alan.
I just tried to share good information.
And I was like, even if I'm not right, I'm doubling down. I'm like, when did you meet Linnell? Like, Jennifer Lynn Frank says, hello all.
Hey!
Hey, we miss you, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Big Dan Custom Art says, and the worst dad joke, the award goes to. Good night, Scott Colehart.
Good night, Scott!
Hey.
Jennifer Lynn Frank says,
get up
miss you
and
too.
actually go get something.
Sharon says, sending you all much love from Ometepe, Nicaragua. Ometepe?
wow.
Okay.
Going back to Alan, because Alan is doing things.
It's true.
Doing all the things.
I like the frogs. They were easy.
Yeah, easy peasy. Carrie Ann Olson says, hi everyone, working on my Noonwraith cosplay that I made for last year's Halloween. I'm trying to work at a dry ice canister for low-lying fog to go to my local con.
I would just get a mini fogger. I think a dry ice canister is going to, well, you're going to have to fill it with dry ice all the time. I would go with a mini fogger and then just plumb it through like a thermos or something. That way it goes through ice and it still has no line fog.
I just do that one just.
I know.
Put a lot of stone right at eye level where people are going to touch. Because they're going to say, was that stone? And they're going to hook it. I'm kind of leaving it a little peaked, and I'll come back and I'll brush this down afterwards. Let it stiffen up a little. Okay, Alex?
Madison says, rude. Wife says, that's a cool shirt. It doesn't rude look like Thor from the TV show Ghost with his hair that way.
Never heard of that.
I was told about that show just the other day. He's a Viking ghost.
Ah, neat.
You've been called worse.
Hey, I sure have.
I've done it.
Thanks.
All right, you're going to be officially alive to getting a crotch shot. Alex, could you move the cameras?
TikTok is actually pretty good.
Yeah, TikTok is great. Don't touch TikTok.
Don't touch it, TikTok.
No touchy.
Not touching. It doesn't really lean back.
Anthony Coiner says, hey y'all, Alan, will we be seeing this when it's done and painted? It looks great.
We'll have pictures at least. Alex, it does tilt up.
It does tilt up.
It tilted all the way.
But it, yeah,
Keep
that
going,
part lifts
keep
up.
going.
Wait
The cord is.
Oh no, it's tied off.
It's good.
Well, just loosen the cord.
No touchy.
I don't
Oh.
want to kill another camera.
You're fine. Aspiring Eve on TikTok says Alan's in his thirst trap era.
If you kill that camera, we all get to go home. So
Heck yeah.
Oh, we got 5 minutes. Get a bug.
I am putting goopy goop on this. Buck, are you in tomorrow?
Yes,
Good.
not all day.
Okay. When you're here, I need you to paint the feet on my Beastman stilts. They're orange beast feet. Paint them to match the bear.
Paint your beast feet, man, to match the bear hands
Beastman feet to match the bear hands and mask.
and monster,
What's that?
and monster.
And we have to clean for Monster Camp, but I don't think that's going to happen until like 11 p.m.
Yeah. Tim O'Connell on TikTok asked, what kind of mixture are you using?
This is a material called Structolite. It is a scratch coat for stucco. It is also used as a coating for structural EPS foam. This is what they put on a building as trim or whatever. This is what you are meant to coat EPS foam with, and it is meant to bond with the foam.
Ezekiel asks, what's the bets for Alan going backside up and the wet mess lands on him?
Well,
Syracuse agile.
I'm on a ladder. Not
Wouldn't
as
be the
often
first
as I
time.
used to be.
John Hayes asks, are you adding color to the stone and or using lighting for color effects? And Alan, how do you go by how colors play along with colored lighting?
Oh, well, like we tell the makeup artist what color the light's going to be so that they can not waste time on makeup. I've had someone do red veins all over someone in red light, and it's just what they were wearing, nothing. So, no, that's just part of it. This one, I don't really know the light it's going to be in, so I'm painting it the way that it looks good in natural light. Because it'll at least be seen in some normal light. And then I will light it so it looks good once it gets into my haunted house.
Tim O'Connell on TikTok asks, where do you guys get your big blocks of foam?
So there is a company called Power Foam. They're all over the country. We have one in Midlothian. I happened to get this foam from a archery place when they were done with it, so this big foam was at a lower cost, but it did, the drawback to that is that it took a lot more processing in order to make it usable foam. It was full of little arrow holes.
Carrie Ann Olson says,
Really stressed.
I've tried using one of those modified e-cigs and you can't even tell the thing is on. My plan is to use dry ice and an ultrasonic mister.
Not an e-cig, a mini fogger. Go to froggiesfog.com and they have a miniature fog machine, which is actually lovely. We use it on photo and video shoots here when we don't want to do the big stuff that'll set off the fire alarm if we don't turn it off.
Evan Studio asks, breathing in that stuff?
No thanks. No, it's mud. I'm not breathing in mud because I'm not, yeah. No. When you mix it, it's good to wear a dust mask. But this doesn't even dry as dusty as like joint compound does. So there's not even like drywall dust. Not everything is out to kill you, just most.
Most things.
And 90% of the stuff in the grocery store.
And we're at 8:59.
Okay, so I'm going to texture these roots. Then,
Inspiring You on TikTok says, the wall looks tasty.
do not eat the wall.
The
Not
forbidden
tasty.
frosting.
Okay, if you have a good shot, like Ultra Cal 30 or most plasters, if you eat them, they will turn to stone inside of you. And if they turn to stone in like a turn of your intestine, then it won't go anywhere and you'll have problems. But don't ask how I know. This, I think you could get it to pass all the way through your system before it cured. Because this takes like 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
So eat this, then eat a can of sauerkraut, and you'll be good to go.
Shadow Jim 81 says, hi, Alan.
Hi.
Tim O'Connell says, so it's called Stucco concrete?
Structolite.
STRUCTO-LITE.
Structo light. Like dynamite.
Inspiring Eve says crunch crunch. Evan Studio, if you didn't get what the material was, it is Structolite.
Yeah, this is like, this is what theme parks use on stone walls
Oh,
that
that's,
were,
yeah, it's these two.
you can spray it on, you can, yeah, Structolite. Or is this a TikTok person or a?
It is a TikTok person, but probably wouldn't suck to show it to both of them.
Structolite. Thanks, bud.
Shadow Jim 81 says, Alan, how do you know?
How do I know what?
Eating,
Oh, it's not important. Don't worry about it. If you said I'm gonna eat this, I will say don't.
Don't.
Me and Rue had a conversation just the other day about how some foams we want to eat, we want to chew on glue sticks. That is an intrusive thought that you must deal with.
And then I brought in the intrusive thought machine today.
yep. Aspiring Eve on TikTok says, Alan eats concrete, this just in.
One sheet, no more things.
Spooky on TikTok says, awesome.
We cannot show
Yeah,
this.
this is like fun, big set work kind of stuff. And this is just a little toothed rake that I am. This is dirty. Let me clean. A little toothed rake that I am putting in a really rough texture in.
Evan Studio says, I would not be messing around with Structolite without a respirator, especially indoors with no ventilation.
Okay.
Well, we do have the shop doors open.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a massive. We're not sanding it. It's mud. It's okay. Thanks. They're from California. I can tell.
1980 says, sorry, Alan, you worked really hard, but I think it's definitely ruined.
What's that?
So you worked really hard, but I think it's definitely ruined.
Oh, yes, got it. I'm like, I think it looks good.
Shadow Jim 81 asks, what are you making, Alan?
Scarecrow. A duck. It's a duck. I'm making a duck. I'm making a ruins set. This is ruins. Them ruins, though.
Ezekiel says, my cat is on TikTok. She knows it's a non-negotiable in this house. Different spooky, I imagine. And Evan and the rest of TikTok, just to give you an idea of the kind of space that we're in.
Yeah, we're in a big spot.
A very large space. Our big door is open. Got a lot of room in here. But we appreciate your concern. We're gonna do other dangerous stuff that's gonna make you mad too.
Yeah. You weren't here for the fire.
But you weren't here for the fire.
Well, maybe that was the worst.
Yeah, that's true. Maskmonger says, hey, on TikTok, hey, just getting ready to jump on my own stream. Dusty Hoodoo says, I have garage envy.
This is a shop. So this is Dark Hour Haunted House in Plano, Texas. We're open April 6th. Come on out and see us. But I digress. Yeah, so this is the workshop of our haunted house at Plano.
Maskmonger on TikTok says, I wanted to say that you've been a great inspiration to me.
Well, thank you kindly. I'm glad I can help. The world needs more monsters. If I can inspire folks to make monsters, then I'm doing my part.
Shadow Jim 81 says, I know every time you think of me as a scarecrow.
I don't think of you as a scarecrow. When you pop on, I think of scarecrows. It is that association is 100% in my brain.
Aspiring Eve on TikTok says, Evan, my roommate, says hi.
Hi, Evan.
Maskmonger on TikTok says, you've been a great inspiration to me since I discovered you on Haunt Space years ago.
Well, that's awesome. I think what it is on TikTok, it's so rare to have someone who's responsive and talking and interacting. So I'm happy to say hello to your roommate.
Evan Studio says, look up silicosis. I wouldn't mess around with it, and it's irrelevant where I'm from.
No. People from California tell you what you're doing is dangerous. That's how that works.
Edson says, that looks great, Alan. I'm going to call it a night. Y'all be safe.
Have a good one.
1980 says, Dark Hour is so big it's going to have a Whataburger soon.
Yeah!
The bag does say it causes cancer in California, but we're in Texas, so we're safe.
Sharon says, see you April 6th at Dark Hour.
Hooray!
Woot. That's exciting. This is, I'm going to come to the show. I can't be in the show because I'm already working at the Monster Museum.
Gotcha. So you'll get out at 7.
Yeah, I'll get out at 7. Carrie Ann Olson says, when you say mini fog machine, are you talking about the Vosentech Microfogger 4 Pro powerful micro-sized smoke machine? That's what
Yeah.
came up when I typed in mini fog machine on Foggy's Fog.
Yes. That's the one. That you used a lot more letters and stuff than I did, but yes.
Shadow Jim 81 says, hey Alan, when are you going to make that dragon head?
We just talked about this last week. Like, give me some time. Eventually, I may have to make a Slimer first. Alexa, when does the next Ghostbusters movie come out?
22nd.
March 22nd.
Okay, so I've got to make a. Okay, so I have to do a Slimer for that.
That's Friday.
Damn.
And then I should be able to make a dragon after that, or before, it all depends.
John Hayes says, Alan, you said long ago how bad it can be having things put down drains. Mistakes that won't be repeated.
That's right. It was very bad.
Vices says, first DIY video I completed was the Witch's Cabinet. Still one of my favorites.
That's a fun one. I should do a whole another furniture piece.
Yeah.
I like those.
Edson says, Dark Hour's getting its own Buc-ee's.
Yeah. You get a Whataburger and a Buc-ee's?
Dude, if the gas station next to us closed down and we got a Buc-ee's, I would be thrilled.
I would cry.
In a good way.
Lunches would get so expensive.
Yeah.
Happy cry.
Giant. 1980 says, there's already a Dollar General in the lobby of Dark Hour.
It's not that big.
I'm more organized.
Shadow Jim 81 says, hey Alan, that's my birthday.
Hooray!
Carrie Ann Olson says, Whataburger has amazing apple pies.
Heck
True
yeah,
fact.
they do.
You are correct.
They've woken me up.
Yeah.
All right, so it is time for us to wrap up our live connection. So one of my favorite things is like when you take your gloves off and they're covered in stone. It's like a weird hacky sack of goo
Mm-hmm.
with
You have
some
a fit in.
firmness. Yeah. All right, so live videos. Alex, you have to go over there and stop TikTok. Like, don't just like stop. You gotta say goodbye. But
We're gone.
you hang on. We're gonna say goodbye to TikTok, and then we'll say goodbye to live people.
While she's getting that set up, Warmonger asks, do you still use your old shop, or is it just a doggo hangout now?
I use my old shop to make action figures, is what I do. So, Alex, say goodnight. Thank you for your TikTok expertise. Rue, say goodnight, Rue.
Good night, Rue.
Bud, say goodnight.
Good night.
Stacy, say goodnight.
Good night.
I don't know how this works. So, I don't.
Say goodnight, Al.
Bye,
Go
everybody.
make
Thanks for hanging out with us. Go make stuff.
Go make stuff.
Now you. Think about what you've done. All right. Say goodnight.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Rue.
Good night, Rue.
Say goodnight, Bud.
Good night, bud.
Stacy, say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night. Go make stuff.
Go make stuff.
Even if it's